video, I'm going to go over how I came up with my Moog Taurus pedal bass sounds, the bass lines, the processing. So let's get started. First, I loaded my Moog Taurus bass pedal sample, which is just one G note that's mapped across the entire keyboard, and because it gives me a deep, steady foundation. Next, I set up the sound, the release, the sustain, and a soften attack so each note blends smoothly with the pad. Then I duplicate the pad's MIDI, strip it down to a simple bass line because the pad already gives me the chord structure. After that, I started with the root note, then moved on to the different remaining note voicings to find a combination of notes that sits well underneath the pad. Keeping it simple, but adding movement so it's more interesting, not just holding root notes. And now for the sound design. First, I add an EQ before the effects so I can shape the tone before it hits the reverb, especially if I want certain frequencies to drive the effects a little bit harder. Next, I use a channel splitter in frequency split mode. This lets me keep everything below 100 Hz dry while sending only the upper part of the bass to a separate effects path. Then on the upper band, I added a big hall reverb at a very low mix, added around 15%, just to keep the top of the bass a little ambient without muddying up the low end. After that, I kept the lower band in mono using a binaural pan. This keeps the deep frequencies tight, centered with no phase issues. Finally, I left the EQ at the end of the signal chain for later fine-tuning if necessary. That's the basic sound design for the Moog Taurus bass pedals. Now let's take a listen. And there you have it. That's how I came up with my Moog Taurus pedal bass sound, bass lines, the processing. We'll see you next time.